are you ready to be fired up? Because I sure am. I have got Haley Jones here. She is from Knoxville, Tennessee. Her chapter in our book, Top Producer Secrets. Remember, if you'd like to get a copy of her entire chapter along with the other top producers, go to KristaMashore.com/secrets. She's going to be teaching us today how to crush it in real estate as a brand new agent. Haley, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so
excited today. So tell me, bring me on your journey.
My journey. Okay, so I'm a former educator.
Yes, like me.
Like you. And I was getting tired of it, overwhelmed. It's a long backstory, right? So at that time, it was 2020, and I was like, I'm over it. I can't do this anymore. And I thought about real estate for a while. I get my license in March of 2020, which we all know what happened in 2020.
COVID hits.
Yeah.
Brand new agent. Left your teaching job.
Yeah, and actually my school went all virtual. So I was like teaching virtually, got my license, and then I just started calling people, like all my sphere of influence or whatever. And I just remember vividly, I had gotten this your first 30 days in real estate calendar, and it was like, call 10 people in the week one, door knock 25 people. The next week, call 20 people, door knock 30. Like, it was just adding on, right? And do 5 open houses the first week, do 10 the next week, and it just was like, what?
You're like, oh.
Like, how is this even a thing? And also, in East Tennessee, it's hot. Okay, so by the time I was like implementing this, it started to be May, June, and I was walking neighborhoods, like, I was trying to look cute. It was like 100 degrees outside, and I was like, this is not selling sunset. Like, well, I'm in the middle of the humidity.
Yeah, it looks so sad.
I know, it's
real estate
completely not even, and I'm just like out there sweating, like trying to pass out flyers about an open house. And I was like, this cannot be what this is. Like, this cannot be the best use of my time. So anyways, I had started like reading and researching and trying to find like what to do. Fast forward, I show up to a conference in 2020, which like no one's going to conferences, but you happen to be speaking there. And you're talking about attracting people through video and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, like that doesn't involve sweating and like walking down the street in the middle of the summer, right? So that's when I, joined your program. And really my chapter is about how I went from walking streets and no transactions to now we're in 2024. Every year I have increased from 8 transactions my first year to 33 to 44 to 53. And I'm on track to, be more than that this year. So
wow, so good. That's impressive considering, years 53 transactions as a still relatively newer agent.
Yeah.
But in the market that we've been in with limited inventory, high interest rates, like, people are leaving the industry and you just continue to go up.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's really just been, in the chapter, I talk about just really getting a daily plan because at first you're like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And so
agents aren't willing to share. Like,
right.
They don't want to help. So tell what is your daily plan like, and like how did you exactly crush it?
So what I did, I started doing 10 video texts like religiously. That's like a huge thing you talk about. You're like, just do this, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. Like,
just to let you know, what a video text message is you just take 10 people, you send a personalized video to them, and just say their name, say something nice. Do not ask for referrals. Do not ask for business, and it gets you comfortable on camera, and also it keeps you top of mind. Yeah,
so that's one of the things that I was like, this is a non-negotiable. Another non-negotiable was running Facebook ads. I had no idea what I was doing. I just started, and actually, I was doing it wrong. I didn't even know I was doing it wrong at first, but I was like, I'm putting all the dollars and all the videos, and everyone's going to see me. And actually, like, it worked out, obviously. I don't know that you can necessarily do it wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just execution.
Yes.
Right? And so just executing, consistently doing video, consistently running ads behind it, consistently retargeting. And then I just started showing those, like,
the results.
Yeah. So I started showing those results when I would go to listing appointments. Like, look how many hours of watch time I have. No one's talking about that.
No one.
And then I've had multiple different times now where people have been like, I've seen you before.
Yeah.
And then now I can say, well, that's intentional because you're now in my loop. Like, you're in my 15-second watch audience. Like, I have you. And I've told sellers that, and they're like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, well, that's what I can do for your house.
Exactly.
So that's literally what
it's like you're modeling what you're doing. And because I think about it into perspective, like, if they're interviewing multiple agents,
right,
everyone else is talking about the same thing. They're like, oh, we're going to do a broker tour, which doesn't work. We're going to do an open house. We're going to do this. And you're talking about retargeting, digital marketing, running Facebook ads, massive web exposure, like targeting prospective people that looked at houses 6 months ago. They're now more likely to buy. I mean, people are like, whoa, no one else has talked about this.
Right. So yeah, daily process. I mean, my text messages, my video text messages, running ads consistently, and then just following up, using my sphere of influence, staying in front of them with Facebook ads, but also I'm a former teacher. Yeah. So I really have used that sphere of influence. I just I do something every Valentine's Day. I do something for them every, at the end of the school year, I do something. All my teacher, people that I know, they get something every year. Mm-hmm. And people are like, oh my gosh, where do you do that? But the thing is, they know me already, right? So I do definitely, I use that to my advantage.
That was me too. When I got into, teachers and police officers were huge because they seemed like to get married a lot for no reason. Yeah, they were a huge for me too. I did all the same thing.
Yeah, so just really, I mean, it was just being consistent about, because it's very easy to be like, there's no results coming, blah blah blah. But especially first getting started, you just have to let go of that and just say, I'm gonna have a good attitude about it. We're not making video text messages in the back of our mind thinking oh my God, they're not going to listen. I don't want to do this. All that. It's just execute it and know that you took action and the action is going to create a result.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is, I did hire a coach, and yes, I did what the coach told me to do.
Yeah. And
so if you're new, it's you don't know what you're doing, and that's fine, but also it's not fine to just stay there.
Yeah.
And so that was my biggest thing is I'm a highly competent person. I was a great teacher, right? But I was so afraid of screwing someone over because I don't know real estate or whatever. But I surrounded myself with you and people that could help me. And I had questions, people I could go to ask questions about. So I think it's also just, you've got to get out of your head about not knowing what to do and just start executing.
Yes. Very important.
And whether or not, I don't care who it is. I mean, obviously I'm biased about what people should do and who they should work with. But I just think it's executing. And if you're going to execute, you got to be consistent.
Yeah. And with real estate, it's such a lucrative profession.
Yeah.
You can make so much money. It always amazes to me. And I know why. The barrier to entry is so easy, right? You take a few classes, whammo, you're a real estate agent. Yeah. And I believe it should be much harder to become a real estate agent. I really do. I've seen some crazy things in my career.
Right.
But, if you learn to do it differently and you position yourself and you truly have a unique value, and you can showcase that and with that before people even meet you, you can see it. It is, I believe it's because it's so competitive. It's the easiest profession to actually be able to stand out because nobody else is doing that kind of thing.
Right. Well, and two, just realizing it doesn't necessarily matter. It does matter what your content is, but I get a lot of times how do you know what video to make? It's you just made the video. Just make the video because you're going to spend, however long on this one video. And if you don't put ads behind it, it doesn't matter anyway. It's running but if you put ads behind it, people are going to see it. You keep capturing them. You keep showing up. And so that's where I'm just just make video. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be spewing real estate. It can be you. It can be what you do. Low-hanging fruit, your dog, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, interviewing people and your favorite dog, dog food, your favorite restaurant, your favorite dog park, whatever.
Yeah, so that's just another thing is I video everything and I make something out of it. And
so good.
So that's my suggestion.
Now, people are so thinking, oh my gosh, I'm afraid of what I look like. As a new agent, was it hard for you to be creating content as a new agent? How did you kind of get over that?
I was really more worried about I had been a wrestler before, so I had a little bit of an advantage of I had been kind of doing that a little bit, but
Haley was a professional female wrestler.
Yes.
Okay. Man, I don't know. I was thinking you're a beast. You are a beast.
So I had that advantage of being a little bit more comfortable because we used to have to do these crazy promos, but I felt so unconfident about the real estate piece of it, which again goes back to get a resource. Saying you're ignorant is not an excuse. So in my case, that was scripts that you provided that let me be successful, not only in front of the video, but in front of camera, but also in front of clients because then I knew.
Well, you were learning as you're going.
Yes. Yeah. And so, really, if you have some sort of valuable piece of information to say, just say it. And then you're going to get better. You're going to suck at first. No one cares. Yeah. It's literally the same thing as when someone posts a video or a picture or whatever, and they're I wasn't going to post this because of my fat roll on my left cheek. And you're I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's no, just post it because that's an excuse. So I'm a little bit like, get over it is really my response.
Get over it. That's so good. Well,
it's probably not encouraging, but like, get over it.
Yeah. That's how you look. That's how you sound.
Yeah.
You bottle of steel, but
Yeah.
with the bar, put a bag over your head.
Yeah.
That is who you are.
Right.
And you know, there's, I couldn't agree more. I mean, you know, just differentiating yourself and being different.
Yes.
You know, the thing about and this is very important, is proper distribution. It
Yes.
doesn't matter how much time you spend on a video. If nobody sees it, it doesn't make a difference. So that's why
Right.
running the ad campaigns is and retargeting is just
Right.
huge in it. So what else? Like, I mean, to get more, I mean, you've just, I mean, to do the kind of business you've done is
Well, I've just added as I've gone. So like, I've consistently run Facebook ads pretty much since like
exception.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And so I've consistently done that. I've consistently tweaked how I've done that. I've consistently shown those results when I go to listing. So I've just added on. And then I've also just, as like now YouTube is a huge part of my business. Huge. But also I took advantage of the fact that where I am is a huge place where people relocate.
Yeah.
So like, that's low hanging fruit in the sense of like, I'm literally going to see what people are searching and making content about it.
Yeah.
Literally. And the other thing is like just being real, which probably sounds so dumb. But at first I was so like, scripted, and now I'm just like, this is what it is. Yeah, like this is the honest truth. And that's people that call me are like, we liked you because you just said the truth.
Yeah.
You know? Like within reason. Yeah, be yourself. And so, I mean, I've really just added, and then I've just also client follow-up has been a huge thing. So I do client events. This past year for my New Year's, I did, which I'll continue to do this because people loved it. It was a quote calendar. So it was like all these different crazy quotes. So it was like just crazy quotes that people say. Like one, they moved in and their neighbor had a raccoon that was like eating marshmallows. And so it was like in January, it was something about like your raccoon and eating marshmallows or whatever. And so it's basically these funny quotes every month, and it's a physical calendar. And so many people have reached out. They'll send me pictures every month of like their quote. Yeah.
That's so cute. I love physical calendars.
Yes.
I mean, like, I actually write in.
Yeah.
I like to be able to look back and see.
Yes.
Oh, this month I have here, not just from my phone.
Right. And my assistant, which I've, you know, she was like, why are you doing this? And I was like, because it's something different.
Yeah.
I like to be creative, like double down on what you like to do. Because if that is something I've learned about myself in this is like, you know, I've had so many people tell me like, you need to be making 3 hours of calls a day and you need to be doing all this. Well, if you like to do that, then you go do that. But that's one of the reasons like that I resonated with you is about like, be you, attract, provide value. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like with the calendar, it's like, this is something fun I like to do, but I also do a monthly touch of a newsletter that's off the wall. People even say your newsletter is so off the wall.
Well, do you mind giving us a copy of your newsletter?
Yes, we can. Sure. Yeah,
sure.
And so now that's like a combination of like a little bit of real estate, a little bit of like I do a lame joke. I have a podcast now where I interview local businesses, so I highlight all those businesses in there. I mean, we have a girls hockey team coming to our area, which is weird because
that's so cool.
It's like hockey in Knoxville, right? Yeah. But like I'm sponsoring that, so just putting out stuff about what's going on in the community, which is adding value. Without like
a community market.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So that's just all stuff I've added as I've gone.
So the thing is, I like it. So we always say, learn, implement, master, repeat. Learn something, implement it, master it, repeat it, keep doing, and then add to the next thing. Yeah. So it's not like you're evolving, right?
Yes.
And you can't do everything all at once in the beginning, but you start, you know, and differentiation. It's very important. You know, video content is amazing. It works, but you following it up with being out in the community,
right? Being
seen, you know, being at events, holding events,
right?
Being out there so they get that, oh, I know who that person is. I've seen them is very crucial.
Yeah. So that's been a huge part, is just showing up, really. And now like I have principals that will reach out and say, hey, can you sponsor this? Can you help us with that? Which is stuff I like to do. Yeah. Like, can you do a breakfast for us? Can you do, and I just like doing that kind of stuff. So now I'm kind of known as like, I have a client who literally, they have a Airbnb in Key West, and she like follows my YouTube. She's like, if you'll just make some good videos for me in my Airbnb in Key West, you can stay for free.
That's so awesome.
Great. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. So like there's perks too, but I've been doing that for 4 years now almost, and she sees me consistently. Yeah.
It's about being consistent. Yes. It's huge. Yeah. Consistency is key. Yeah. And you know, we need to change our measuring stick, right? So it's not like people say, oh, it's not working because nobody opted in. Nobody gave me their name or their phone number. People are watching and binging and consuming, and you never even know. Right. They don't like or comment. They're just watching. I cannot tell you the thousands of times I have heard thousands Oh my gosh, I love your content. I watch you all the time. I consume you all the time. I watch every one of your monthly market updates. You know?
Yeah, no, totally. Well, and I have people that'll be like, I don't want to buy a house, but I really love that video. And so I'm like, you don't need like, I just like that you, but you don't get it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't ever. That's one of my things is I don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, you're just like a salesperson or whatever. Like, I'm like a real person.
Yeah.
And like, I can help you if you want help.
Yeah.
And if not, like, enjoy.
Your referral and repeat business has done well. Without even like automatic people refer you. Yeah, have never even worked with you.
Yes.
Oh, there's that Haley girl.
Yes.
She's the real estate girl.
Yes. I have a lot of like that from Instagram for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people that like engage with me on Instagram and then so and so will be like, oh, such and such person watches you on Instagram here. Yeah. Whatever. Like that's how I learned who you were or whatever. Yeah. Which is interesting. And like YouTube a little bit, but YouTube is primarily like, they've been watching because whatever. But definitely a lot of people that are like, well, and also, I mean, the thing is, like, with Facebook, is all people that knew me previously to, like, real estate. And so all of those people, ads or not, like, every Tuesday I do a live tour. I've done that every Tuesday since I got my license. Mm-hmm. And of a house or whatever. And the number of, like, clients and referrals I've gotten from that is, I don't know that I could even, like, quantify it. Yeah. So just because I know that they're watching, they're commenting, they're doing this, and they're not looking for a house, but they think that my commentary is entertaining. Yeah, so you are pretty entertaining. You are. So, anyways, yeah. So
that's one thing I've always loved about you. Just are just real and fun, and just a good person. You are.
I want to be.
Oh yeah, you're very, very likable. It's funny. One of my old mentors, when we were at an EXP event. And I was like, let's text Russell and see if he wants to do a wrestling match.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Thank God I deleted. I didn't say.
Yeah, and I cut a real promo for him. I was like, let her go.
Oh, and you wanted.
And then you were like, he's real. And I'm like, I'm not real. Like, I'm a professional wrestler. I'm not like a jiu-jitsu master. Yeah. It's like, yeah. So anyways.
Okay, so I always end every podcast with anything else you want to tell? Like, first of all, your chapter is all about all the different steps that she took. Yeah. To how many deals did you last year?
Last year 53.
53. Okay.
Yeah. 21 million.
Yeah, that's so good. Wow, way better than a teacher, huh? Way better than a teacher seller. Oh, real estate is so lucrative. Yeah. But she did. But just like she invested in real estate, in her teaching, she invested in learning to be the best real estate agent, and continues to, which is really good to see. It's been fun. Watching your journey. I've been really, really proud of you. I mean that too. Okay, so we always end it this way. If you could give one piece of advice, and again, if you want to hear more of Haley and her amazing journey and what she's done, as well as the other top producers, go to KristaMashore.com/secrets. That's KristaMashore.com/secrets to see Haley's and all the other top producers, what their blueprint, their model is, their step-by-step. What was your one piece of advice to me, Haley?
I think just commit, whether it be, just commit to the process. Mm-hmm. And I think like, it's very easy to take steps out of fear, especially in real estate. There's a lot of people that like want your business and are selling you stuff. And thinking about, like, are you making that decision because you're afraid? Or are you making the decision because it resonates with you? Mm-hmm. And so even when you're hiring a coach, when you're taking on a business, like you think, oh, they're going to help your CRM, or they're going to help your SEO, or it's a magic bullet. Well, that's not really what it is. It's like, does this action or this investment, is it going to take you personally to the next step? Is it in alignment with who you are? And if the answer to that is no, then don't do it. Mm-hmm. And then just own that decision. Like, it's very easy to make a decision and choice out of fear and spend all the dollars, and 6 months later be like, why did I do that when I knew not to? Yeah. But also, if you make the investment, commit to the investment.
Do it. Yeah.
And that's something what my chapter is. That's literally, it's just like, this is what to do. Do what you were told.
Yeah. You're adult and commit. Yeah, it's true. People give up way too soon. Yeah. And it takes time, right? You're building a foundation, but once it hits like crazy, and it's like this massive spiral. Yeah. Well, Haley, everyone, I hope you enjoyed her just as much as I'm having you, and just as fired up as I am. And again, Krista Mashore here with Haley Jones out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, go Vols. If you're an SEC fan, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't, but we will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.